the seat, like, whoa, boobs, sorry, boobs, so much boobs, almost, oh my god.
5 and 10.
Where is it? Oh my word.
Big! I know, it's like a...
Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Happy February. I am starting week of today because I have had a crazy day of filming. I've filmed 2 videos in its entirety already, and I have made probably one of the biggest messes I've ever made. Well, maybe not ever, maybe, I don't know. I chopped up my Philodendron Splendid. If you guys didn't see that video, I will link it in the description. And I just, yeah, the plant room is an absolute mess. There is shredded moss everywhere, there's soil everywhere, perlite, it's all over the place. And so I thought, why not start this week with a cleanup. I'll give you a good old time lapse, just kind of show you what it looks like post filming, kind of the chaos that happens after the camera turns off, and like what I usually am dealing with after off camera. So I'm gonna set you guys aside. We're just gonna get a little cleaning done. Hopefully you guys have some plant chores that you can put on in the background while this is going. I am aiming for 3 hours this month. I do have a lot of plans this week. I'm going to North Shore over the next 2 days. It is gonna be pretty chaotic. We have a lot to do at the shop, so I'm not quite sure how much I can film. I'm not sure how much she wants me to film, and so we'll just have to see, but I will kind of maybe take you with me over the next 2 days to show you what's going on over there. In terms of today though, I think after cleaning, I'm not really sure there's anything else for me to do because I need to start editing one of these videos already, so I might just cut it after this time lapse and then see you tomorrow. Okay, I look crazy. I'm here at North Shore. Lauren, you want to say hi? You're not in the frame. She's eating her lunch.
Hi!
I just want to take a break from what I was doing and show you some of my babies here. Well, they're not my babies, but I propagated them. And I don't know what anything is. What do you reckon this is? Angmarcanum metallicum.
Vermilions?
It's so cute.
It was a guess who?
Yeah. It's not tuggable.
Show them how I tell you to do a root test.
If you can hold it by the stem, it's probably rooted. But if it falls to the ground, it's not ready to go. We don't actually let anything fall to the ground. Oh my gosh, this one's so round and cute. Probably it's a crystal mag. Look how cuties. I propagated these probably a month ago. They're doing pretty good in that little corner over there.
By the cool door,
The cool door, yeah. And then I've got, I'm talking like they're mine. This Mag Verde. I always go back and forth. Do I want a Mag Verde? Do I not want one? They're very, very cute.
Look at the
sinus. This is so cute. Oh my god. It looks like my my Tofugetii. My Tofugetii has the same kind of sinus. This is so cute. Let's see. Are you rooted?
Who was that?
Amazon delivery?
Oh. It was me. Smirking. She's filming. Oh.
Miss COVID over here.
Oh. We only have one bin left.
I know.
Holy shit.
I had to take a little break.
We still have other bins.
I had to take a break
I have a lot of cuttings.
for Catum. Are we potting these? Are you doing water for the? Okay.
Once they callus.
A lot of them though have like
I think this is a Draconopterum. Draconopterum. So cute. I don't know if these are ready. I think this one might be. Oh, maybe not this one. The seed, like. Not ready. Franks, we're filming, buddy. Quiet on set. So that's how you know it's not ready. I'm not wearing makeup today, by the way. I look cray-cray. It's about midday now. I'm gonna be here till about 6:30, 6:45 to wait till traffic to go down. I'm gonna check in on some imports, but I just wanted to show you some of my little props, and I'm gonna go grab some of the new imports to show you. Ugh, I made a mess. Okay. This one looks like it is rotting. Yep. But the stem is okay. It's just the petiole that rotted. I'm doing it. Gosh, doing it. I want to show you something. She has so many variegated Anthurium right now. This one is Crystal Mag Burgettii. And it looks like the new leaf is going to have variegation as well. These are all grown from seed. This one has lower variegation, but still really cool. And then this guy, oh, this one looks like it's reverted a bit, but you can see some variegation here. Newest leaf is all green. This one is a stunner. Look how like it was green, no variegation, and then variegated. Why can't this happen to me? That would be super cool if some of my seedlings had variegation, but I doubt it.
Meg Gigi. So then this is Meg Gigi, I
The
assume.
tail chunk, what is that?
Oh, you just need to cut the leaves off.
This is upgrading.
Who's this?
This is the Meg Verde AOS, but I think there's been some contamination with the seed batch because he had one that looked like this one.
What the heck?
And I have one that looks even more silver than this.
These two, right?
I'm tempted by this one. I think it was sold as a Mag Verde AOS. Cross self. But look at these veins. So pretty.
The salmons.
But I shouldn't. Don't do it, Sherms.
Oh, you have it. Okay. It's here.
And look at this Myken's Halo that's being sold in the live sale too. Some reverted stems, but look at this guy down there. Pretty. I actually quite like this. I didn't think I'd like it, but I actually really like it.
It's only on Uber. He's giving your channel a show. Did you see it? I want to get more views. Guess who got the Happy Meal? You got one too. Oh! Oh no! Happy Meals. I didn't know. And they come with a toy. Rylan got
This is so big.
I know, it's like a nugget.
Look at these adult Happy Meals. How come nobody told me there was Happy Meals? No, I didn't. No, I was just showing them the Happy Meal.
See? Oh my god, it has
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Are
Serious? Are you serious?
I see it.
I
Put it back together, Al.
Like Mr. Potato.
I didn't know there were Happy Meals. Oh my gosh, That is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I'm so happy. This is so much nicer than I thought it would be.
I know, that's like legit. Oh my gosh.
So cute. That's so Anna.
You guys, this is so cute.
I love it.
I'm good. I'm just gonna stand as long as Frankie doesn't.
Oh, what? No,
No, because
this is
I'm gonna
awkward.
keep walking around and then I'm
Who's gonna come on and do? Who's gonna man the show while I'm gone?
Me and Charmaine.
oh my god.
Did Jesse put his hands up? Oh. I thought you put your hands up. I'm like, wow.
I'm like, wow.
Okay, what's
Alice might try to
Hi.
kiss me.
What?
Alice might try to kiss me.
Anything else other than US shipping?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Are you gonna blame her?
I'd kiss her if she didn't just have COVID. Hello.
We don't need to say she's here.
Thanks,
She's
Anna.
like,
Oh, I'm just waiting for
We
the
don't need to say her name.
I'm not just sitting
know
here.
who.
Just 'cause
You know who.
You know who.
We're just gonna wait a little bit. Alice is just gonna get up a little shipping comment for us.
Is it not there yet?
Oh, it's there. I always pin the US shipping right away because we get that question asked a lot. So, how's everybody doing today?
We're good.
We're good.
I'm good,
I know
thanks
how
for
you're
asking.
doing. I just wanted to let you guys know I am going to pop out for a little bit. I gotta go pick up my kid from school today, so I'm leaving it in someone's hands.
I'm scared.
Be nice to them.
What if I mess up?
Okay,
Take turn.
let's start. Now,
Adios,
Jose is here
adios,
again today. Should we do a sound check?
Oh,
1, 2, 1, 2.
I really wanna try this.
It doesn't.
It
Where?
just says hi.
But have you seen my stories lately? I like don't even put a thumb up, and all of a sudden it's like thumbs up. I'm like, what's going on? Ho 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 to the power of 5.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy, for
I
no.
thrifted it.
Thanks for calling me a hoe, Tracy. There's actually 6 hoes here today,
Too many holes in today.
My
including Frankie. Oh, am I the 7th hoe?
You're the
Oh, you guys are just the hoes, not me. Okay, we're gonna start with some of Jose's plants. So he's brought all of the rest of your plants today. So this one, you need to get it. It's from. You still have it?
I did.
Yeah. This is Gordon.
That's Gordon. Alice named them.
We're gonna run through. We literally hardly did any auctions today, so we're gonna be like fast and furious. There are like 200 plants today, so we're gonna go fast. Okay. Clarinervium. This guy is nice, big. There's actually even a little baby offshoot. $40 for this one, and the code is B16.
buy everything. Yeah.
Here
No
is
more
a very
live and
cute
affordable.
one. This one is a Mag Verde crossed with an AOS. This was grown from seed. $140 for this guy, and the code is B7.
Ooh, thank you. I'm gonna try this.
Look at this beautiful one. This is, we showed this in the last sale, but she has a new leaf now. It's an RA5 Self. So the older leaves are looking a little rough, but look at this new leaf. We have a little bit of a price drop for you guys. $520 for this one. And the code is B4. There's so much stem to chop it up if you want to share with somebody. This one is one of our only auctions that we're going to do today. This one is a Bigfoot Self, and this one's from Cartel. Starting bid on this one, $120. You hold your darn plant, it's heavy. my arm is sore already.
Home problem.
Oh yeah. Bigfoot is like a Indo crystallinum hybrid-y.
But it gets really big.
Yeah, it's really cute.
And a red sinus.
Here, take your pond back.
Hey, but it's expensive. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's like half a cent.
Okay, do we want to count it down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it.
Where are we at?
I don't know.
Where are we at?
130.
Okay, we're at 130. I'm gonna count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
3,
4,
Throwing her off.
3,
3, 2, 1. I can do it. All I can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I feel like
6.
at 5 you were like, ah. Oh, the way that the other way.
Yeah, it's a super cute. So I don't really know what this is, but we bought them as Indo. You guys bought them too, right? Like AOS Dark Mama. The leaves get really, really dark and they're super cute. This is $120 and the code is B15. B15. Okay. Oh, this one is so gorgeous, you guys. I know, I'm like, why was that not here before? I want to keep this one, so I already have one or two.
B9.
B9 goes to Tash W. This is a Dark Phoenix crossed with the Luxurians. This is one of Hendry's, so it's the Space Hijau hybrid. Look at that new leaf. I don't even know if you can see the red.
Yeah,
it's
I can
not
see it, like,
really
through
showing
it.
up,
Yeah.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
Like the veins, but look at it in person.
Oh, yeah.
It's so pretty. $185 for this one, and the code is 45.
I like this, like, it's very, like, dark phoenix shade.
Yeah, it's so pretty. And again, I feel like the light kind of washes them out. You just don't see those red veins. This one was bought in a seed batch as Meg Verde crossed with AOS. $120, and the code on this one is B8. A begonia lubercii. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
$40, the code is A1.
So this was that begonia. It loses.
I might have to turn it a little bit.
It loses its oh god, loses its spots, and it's like really velvety and dark.
Ooh, B3.
Sold to Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure you will
Kevin.
make it 10 times the size.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a Hoya Undulata for $40. Another big one. Code is C2. And it is also rooted in leca.
Per
That's-
request.
Per my request?
Oh, why?
Instead of pond? Oh, it's lighter. It's lighter.
I sacrificed my life.
C2.
Sold to Miss Safe. Oh shoot, I shouldn't be the one saying anything. I have a beautiful Clarinervium for $50.
B20 sold.
Kuan Yi plants. $50, code is 52, 52. So I'm gonna head out for a little bit, and this one's in charge.
Oh, you did it! Ow.
Try it like this. Tell her she's in charge. I'll be back.
Yeah, it does look like
Have fun.
that was my basket.
Here it comes.
Do you want me to swap too? Or you wanna?
No, I'm good here.
No, like I can.
Maybe you can start to put some of these like over
Can we
there.
just stay here for a little bit?
Yeah.
And then we'll move to.
You want to clear out?
Should we do this one?
Yes.
Okay, we're taking out the one in the box. Da-da-da. Jose plant.
This is dress Rio Guanche #2 crossed with Windy Dresslerai. This is a cross made by Grant.
Do you guys want Hoyas or what? Hoyas or Anthurium or Philodendron? What does everyone want?
I think it was Hoyas.
Hoyas?
Hoyas.
We got Hoyas.
But I didn't know. Oh, Jamie.
Jing, would you like to come sell
Jing?
your Hoyas?
Let's do the WW.
Am I gonna get this working? No.
Doesn't like us. Okay, let me give you your Hoyas.
Hi everyone.
This is Jing, aka Jim, aka Hong, aka
Hong.
Actually, only I call her Hong.
Yeah, pretty much. And next one, I bought this as Limoniaca, but I'm not sure what it is. Limoniaca was recategorized as Nicole Saunier, but this doesn't look like it. So this is J9, Hoya no ID
$15. There's 3 cuttings in here. I think it's cute. J9, $15. I think
And
J7 was sold to Barbara.
Spears.
Thank you. Next, I have Hoya Wilbur grapes from China. So this one has a little longer leaves than regular one, but very silver, this one. This is J3 for $40. Wilbur grapes from China. J3, $40.
Oh, here's another Ripsalis. This one's mine. This is a Ripsalis salicornioides. This one is also Canada only. Code is C4 and it's $20. And there are 2 stems in here. Who wants Splendid? Sorry, I'm bringing out all the philodendron. This one's a pretty large leaf. Has a little bit of damage to it. But it's got a new growth point and it's actually quite large already.
Yeah, the calypso.
The code is C7 and it is $20. Head test, Jing?
I have huge head, so don't
I do
forget.
too. I had to get vacuumed out of my mother. She said there was like a nurse on top of her like pushing me out and there's like a vacuum.
And your head turns out like long,
I
right?
think I was like a cone head. I know. Does anyone want to tie? This thing is humongous. God, my
You get it?
stomach keeps getting in the way.
A8 goes to life on tight terms.
Okay, A8 goes to life on Thai terms. Okay, let me hold it.
That's a good price for a plant this size.
Yeah. Thai con.
Thai
Huge.
constellation, $90. A
Code
million
is-
bajillion leaves.
Code is B18. Oh my gosh.
B18, new
How do
leaf
you
on the
do-
way.
I'm trying not to slap you in the face with this plant. Look at this leaf. So I think this is the newest leaf on here. Oh, B18
$90. Oh, those
sold to
two. Wits 08?
No.
Cash.
Cash.
Oh, Wits 08.
Wait, Wits, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is this one that you wanted to keep?
No, it was in like a self-watering pot, but it wasn't actually like in the self-watering pot.
So this
Oh,
is
that's
an
why you
Anna,
got
this is
damaged.
an Anna special.
God, they're
Anna-
gonna think I just like went into Jose's tent and just like, forget it.
She's the reason I'm moving to Australia.
She went to Jose's house and just laid on his bed and did nothing. So this was a nice sleeve before. This is a Regale Lux. It is $90. And the code is B17. But look at this fatty.
That's
Did I
okay.
just hit you?
No, just my hand.
Oh my gosh. Look at this fatty chunk. He's so chubby.
Yeah, new leaf's about to
So
pop, it
chunky.
looks like.
Yeah. $90. Code is B17.
Also grown outside the tent.
$40.
Just dragging it.
Code is
Devin was like, you guys dragging me out.
141.
They're gonna think that I don't know what I'm doing, that I just show up just for fun. I'm like, sorry.
Justice for Anna.
Justice for Anna. Justice for Jose's plants.
They're the real victims here.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
It lives.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's a
no.
monster.
And it did
A
a
moss.
full
A moss.
Okay,
What's
so
her
yeah,
name?
it will live.
Flip.
Okay, 33 goes to
Lauren's not here.
fired. Oh, thanks.
61.
You're fired.
Nobody tell Lauren what happened when she was gone. You better not snitch on her. I think she's back. Nobody drop any plants.
Yeah, no,
Anna,
no.
this one's $100. Candy.
Fuzzy peach.
Is it wrong to take candy from a child?
Never. I always take some candies out of my kids' candy bags. Okay,
So
130
that fuzzy peach is looking pretty good, right? For
go
pregnant
to
lady.
Veronica.
Can I have one? Thank you.
Alright, you wanna say hi to everybody?
Go say
We'll say
hi.
hi. Candy to Brighton.
Hi, everybody.
Hi guys! She's
I'm
back!
back.
She's back!
I already forgot the number now.
Okay, so
159.
yeah, took this from
Okay.
you.
This is Ryland for anybody who doesn't know Ryland. Come here. Come say hi.
Hi.
We do have KOS. I actually just saw one.
KOS? I think
There's one right
some
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to just show
Yeah,
that
sure.
one?
I
just
have
gonna-
a KOS here. This is Really cute. $120 for this one. Code is just number one for this one.
What did I miss while I was away? It's so weird not having a phone. I'm like, I kept like forgetting. I'm like, oh, I don't have a phone.
We might just. Thank you.
The code is 30. Code is 30 for this one. I think my most favorite one though is
The live sale is still going on, but I'm pining for this one. I love it. It's so silvery and beautiful, and that red Venetian, and even like the hardened off leaves I think are just beautiful. This one's the Minahasa. Nobody claimed it, which is surprising, and I just love it. Alice says I should. I'm trying not to spend money right now, but I haven't really bought a plant in a while, and I feel like if I was going to spend money on an anthurium, it would be a silvery one. Decisions.
So it is a Leland Miano. If you don't know what that looks like, it is like.
You guys. So that's not really. They can.
It's like,
It's
you
like-
get it. You get it. It's a little. Yeah.
And it goes like.
You get it. Oh, there. So look, Craig Plant Lovers said he gets it. Sorry, I keep saying hey, he. Is it a he or she? Okay, guys. Well, thanks for joining us again. I'm going to start sending out invoices tonight. If you've never bought with us before, send me a message. That way you pop up, and it's easier for me to find you when I go to send you a message. So your message will come through Instagram. I may ask you, where do you live? How do you want to pay? All that good stuff. But yeah, thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, buddy. Oh my goodness. Look at those eyes. That is the biggest eye boogie I've ever seen. Come here. Come here. Come here, my child. Come here, my child. Do you want to say hi to your friends? Come here. No, please leave that. Come here. I don't really want to pick him up because he just ate and he might throw up, but I feel like your friends miss you. Whoa, boobs. Sorry, boobs. So much boobs. Don't miss. Oh my god. It's chaos. Say hi, bud. Pudge is still alive and well, doing great. Living his best life, thriving. Thriving, right? Your friends miss you so much. I am going to try and show him more in my videos. There's been a severe lack of Pudge, and yeah, I know. I missed you today too. Is your little nose infected? Come here. What's that? Oh, I think you got a little pimple, buddy. You gotta put your pimple cream. Gotta put your little pimple cream. You need pimple cream? Okay. Mommy's just gonna wrap this up, okay? Oh my gosh, the fur. The boots with the fur. There's fur everywhere. Okay. So, obviously I'm home. I don't know why live sale days feel more exhausting to me than actual work days at North Shore, like when we're actually doing plant stuff. The live sales just like take it out of me, and I don't even really do anything. I just stand there and hand her plants, and it's just so exhausting. I don't know why. But I wanted to show you guys what I brought home because, sorry, I'm so fixated on the dog hair. I want to show you guys what I brought home because I am going to be taking a break from filming tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. It's tax day. It's not like tax day, but I have allotted tomorrow to cleaning the house, laundry. I need to go do some blood tests and hopefully get my heart checked tomorrow, and then work on my taxes. So gotta like crunch numbers and get all everything together. It's just like a big fat headache. I just don't want to do it so close to my deadline like I do every year. So no filming tomorrow, but I'll be back on Sunday. As some of you may have guessed, I did end up bringing the Minahasa home, and I'm just so excited about it. Oh, you know what? I need to turn on product showcase. Give me a sec. I've been eyeing this thing for a hot minute, and I don't know why. It just felt right to bring it home. It's just so delicious. I don't know, I just feel like I need more silvery, bright and silvery Anthurium in my collection. I feel like I've got a lot of like the dark, pappy looking ones and like the angry looking ones, but I don't know. I just need a little bit more brightness in the Anthurium collection. So I'm going to be keeping this one in my tent maybe for about a week or two, and then I'm gonna acclimate it down, and then hopefully we can have it living in the living room. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. It's been a while since I actually bought a plant from Lauren, so I was overdue, and the price to me was good, so I'm feeling good about it. And then my sweet friend Jose, I really wanted to buy this plant. He bought it as a Mag Verde AOS, so I think he bought 3 seeds. They're not quite sure that's actually what it is, but I loved how silvery this one was too. So it was between this plant and the Minahasa, but then he offered me another seedling from it. I don't know if this was grown from seed or if this was like an offset from one of his plants, but yeah, he gifted it to me. Well, actually, he didn't specifically gift it to me. He was gonna offer this in the live for free, but I was like, I'll take it, please. So hopefully it looks as silvery as the other one, but if not, I think this one's still gonna be really cute. I do love the Mag Verde. I was just telling Lauren the other day, I'm like, why don't I have one? Like, I feel like I should have one. I used to have one like way back when, and it didn't do that well in my care, but I think I'm a little bit more seasoned now. So that might be another one that I try again this year. But yeah, very happy with this. Really happy to have another little piece of Jose in my collection before he is off to Australia. So anyway, yeah, I think today was good. I sold all of the plants that I brought. Thank you everybody that bought my plants and helping me offset the cost of the plants I just brought home. Getting slowly, inching slowly to my goal of making hopefully $1,200 to $1,500 in plants so that I can finish up Archie's nursery without having to tap into any of our paycheck money or savings or anything. I'm hoping that like I can pay for the rest of Archie's stuff that's not going on the registry with plant money. That would be pretty sweet. So anyway, I'm going to order dinner because I am starving. I am so hungry. I'm thinking either Taco Bell or sushi tonight. I do not feel like cooking. I just want to take a shower, jump into bed, and watch something. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little bit of the behind the scenes of the Nordstrom Tropicals live sale today. I know that I've shown you guys bits and pieces before, but I really like want to capture the essence of like how much work goes into a live sale, like leading up to it, the day of, you know, Lauren spending money, having all of us there to help out. The setup is crazy, the organization is crazy, numbering, but I just feel like the system is like so good. I feel like Lauren runs live sales better than pretty much any online live sale that I've ever seen. Honestly, it's just like so put together. Everything's got like its own system, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing a little bit of the behind the scenes that goes on. Anyway, I've been blabbing for so long now, so I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Hey guys, happy Sunday. Having a bit of a rough start here. I thought it was gonna be a good day when I saw the sun was out, but I'm still having those little like fainting spells just very randomly. I thought it's just when my heart rate goes up, but over the last 2 days it's just been kind of happening randomly. So anyway, luckily I'm getting my heart test done tomorrow and my blood test done tomorrow to see what might be going on, but I'm feeling a little lightheaded right now. But I wanted to spend today to take care of the shelf. So about every 2 weeks I spend the time to really sit down and look at all of my plants on this floor. Typically that consists of me putting on a movie or a show, and then I just set up shop here. I take out each plant one by one, do pest treatments and inspections, check for roots, water, fertilize, re-inoculate, chop off dead leaves, and it's a very sacred experience for me, which is why I don't film it that often for week of, because it's just kind of my time to like spend with my plants and just not have a camera in front of me and not have my phone on me. But I figure we'll just do it today since this week of has been kind of off to a slow start. I'm probably not going to show you every single plant, but maybe might show you some of the highlights of this shelf, things that I'm chopping. Maybe if I find pests or something, you guys get the spiel. I am pleasantly surprised by this Ficus deltoidea. Oh, I don't think my product showcase is on. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, Vince is back from doing trash. There's a mystery I'm trying to figure out. Last night I ordered dinner on DoorDash. Sorry, Vince just got home from doing the trash, but I ordered dinner last night and I thought I put it on one of my cards, but I realized that the Visa was off by 1 number. So it's not my card that I charged, and it's not my mom's, it's not my sister's, it's not Vince's. I'm like, whose card is on our DoorDash account? And who bought my dinner last night? I like cannot figure it out. I'm so confused. And what are the chances that this person's card is like 1 number off from mine? And it like, if it was one of my expired cards, it would say expired. It wouldn't have gone through. But anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised by this Ficus deltoidea. I picked this up last year and I got it from Arium Botanicals. I told myself I was going to allow myself to 1 Arium plant, and they had posted this on their Instagram about a month before I was in town, and I was like, oh, they're probably not gonna have any more. And they did have a few, and I really thought that when I brought this back from Portland that it would just drop all of its leaves, because ficus can be a little bit challenging. They can be a little finicky. And this one just seemed like a very finicky one to me. Like if you look at it, I don't know. I just always assumed that they were going to be very difficult, but I really have not had a lot of shedding. I've had a few new growth points pop up. I can see some right now. The figs have kind of stayed on there, and yeah, I'm just pleasantly surprised. So right now this one is living down here, but I think we're gonna have a few sunny days over the next week. So I think once I'm done kind of seeing what's going on with this one, I think I'm gonna put it in the windowsill and just give it some natural sunlight. Sometimes I have a difficult time knowing if substrate is wet, because if you guys look at like how dark the algae is, it kind of would make it seem like it's wet. So what I'm gonna do is the pokey method and just make sure it's not wet or dry. I'm just using a coffee stirring stick, and I'm just gonna stick it in 2 areas of the soil and just make sure it is dry. And yes, it's dry. You can see there's like nothing on this stick. Last week I fertilized with TPS. This week it's CalMag. I always alternate TPS and CalMag every other week. Every week I do anywhere from 2 to 3 milliliters of CalMag, which is about a pump and a half. in this 2.5 liter jug. Oh, I got confused. Yeah, this is just kind of my fertilizing regimen right now. I used to just stick everything in a sprayer and then just spray it every time I'm watering. Oh my gosh, there's so much dog hair on me. But my sprayer was getting stinky so fast, and it would like radiate the most god-awful smells. So I stopped doing that, and so I'm going back to just doing the old jug method. But it's fine. I actually am getting through my waterings a lot faster than with the sprayer. So right now I'm just using the sprayer for like my little plants, my seedlings, wedding poles and stuff like that. I'm gonna go put this on the windowsill now since it's nice and sunny. And I forgot to take my Instagram photo for tomorrow, so I'm gonna do that while the sun is out. Be right back. I think today's photo is going to be of my Vag Lux because it has the most beautiful, beautiful emergent color. Look at how happy it looks on my windowsill. I love that with plants, you can just kind of move it around to a different location, and then you just have this like new appreciation for it all of a sudden. It kind of bothers me that this thing is leaning, but I am happy to see some growth on my, I haven't said this name in a long time, Orteo Cactus Geometrizans Fukuri Kuro Uzin Boku, aka the booby cactus. This soil is really compacted in here. This is probably one that I can likely repot in the spring into something a little bit bigger. Might see some bigger growth too, but I do think a lot of it is light. Oh, something I'm also doing today is I'm gonna be pulling plants to compile. And I'm planning a repot and chat next week. Well, I'm not gonna pull the plants, I'm just going to kind of make note of the plants that I want to repot in this repot and chat. And this is my dad's card. Thanks for dinner, Dad. Yeah, I'm doing a repot and chat where I'm talking about my horror dating stories. And so, yeah, I typically, when I see a plant that needs to be repotted, I'll just like put it in my notes. So that's what I'm gonna do today too. Guys, I need to know what to do here. So I think I'm gonna do something about this today. This penis cactus that is growing so awfully. It looks like the thing from Nightmare Before Christmas. You know the thing, the little hill he stands on? It looks like that. I think I'm gonna chop it, and I think I'm gonna start with a little tiny plant again. So you can't see anything. Is my table really low or what's going on? Anyway, you guys get the point of what I'm doing. I'm gonna chop this tip off. Men, look away if you're squeamish. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just start over. I really don't want it to be at a bend. So I'm just gonna chop right here. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I did it. Now I can start with a little teeny tiny penis again, and I'm just gonna bury it and pot it like this, but I'm gonna let it callus for a little bit. No. I'm gonna let it callus for a little bit, and I don't know what the plan is for this. I'm not very familiar with cacti propagation, you guys. I think I can chop this in two and try and get 2 growth points from it. I don't know. God, that's like a zucchini. That's really satisfying. Okay, we're gonna leave this. This is gonna go back into my prop area. And I'm not gonna be putting the plants back right away because I wanna wipe down each shelf before I put plants back on. Next up, we have this Hoya Clemenciorum. Everything is seemingly going well, but that's what I say about all my Hoyas until something inevitably goes horribly, horribly wrong. Also, this is leaning like crazy. I could either add more pon or I could just add rocks. But I'm almost thinking maybe I just add more pon and rocks. More pond seemed to do the trick, and now she's not leaning. But I have been, and I know people are going to be like, stop doing that. I've been chopping off these runners. I know that growth could come from them, but I'm too damn impatient. I'd rather wait for growth to appear on the little knuckles or like where the leaf is, or inevitably wait for another runner to grow back from it. But it's the only way I really am able to keep things like not so unruly, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna unclip this really quick because we have things happening here. So this is way too long for my liking. Nothing going on up there. Oh gosh, I'm sticky already. Okay, I'm gonna chop this off. I hate this sap. Ah, no. This guy, I guess. I mean, that one's not so bad. Oh gosh, I'm hungry. It hit me like a wrecking ball. I might have to take a break. I'm just scared the sun is gonna go away if I take too long of a break. You know? Okay. Let's get this looking proper again. She's still leaning. Straw hat. She's gonna drip. Okay. And I'm just gonna clip this guy. There. And now she is less stressful for me. I think I'll do 1 or 2 shelves and then I'm gonna go eat because it's actually already 12:30. I already had my filming stuff ready earlier, but then I got lightheaded and I had to sit down for a while. It's always something. I think I'm gonna go back down to 1 video a week. I'm thinking about it. I'm contemplating if I'm able to take the pay cut. I almost feel like I should try and continue for as long as I possibly can, going 2 days a week. But just with like everything that's been going on, I'm really struggling. But there's so many things still that I need to buy for Archie that I'm not really relying on people for the registry. And there's a chance, depending on how my blood work comes back, how my EKG comes back, there's a chance that I might not even get approved to go to the States. So I also have to be prepared for not sending my registry out. Anywho, the roots on this Ripsalis, damn, I had a name for it and now I forgot. It's in my Ripsalis video. I'll throw up the name. I repotted it recently because it wasn't doing so well. It was doing this. It was like dropping its little arms. But since the repot, it's grown so much more. Like there's like so much new growth on it and the roots look amazing. So I'm happy about that. I'm aching to get a new Ripsalis. I really, really want a new Ripsalis in my life. It just feels right. Also, I got rid of a lot of the cacti in my collection, but this one continues to be one of my favorites. This is, I think it's a euphorbia. I don't know which kind, but it's so cute. I don't know what it likes. I don't know how often I'm supposed to be watering this thing, but I water it just as much as I water everything else on this shelf, and it seems to be going swimmingly so far. We've got my Euphorbia White Ghost here that I got from Anna. Not much has changed since I brought it home. I feel like from small plants, they take a long time to really get going. But hopefully we see some growth closer to the spring. Oh, I forgot about this little ducky. I'll just put him with my Euphorbia. And then my Ficus, I keep calling this a Ficus Tineki. My Ficus Shaveriana. Not a ton of growth over the last few weeks, and the growth that has come in has been quite small. I don't know if it's because maybe it needs a repot or it's not enough light or what. but everything seems to be going okay in there. It does look like it's getting a little root bound, so this is probably one in the spring that I'll be able to repot. I've never seen any pests on this thing, but I do like to wipe it down just in case I'm not seeing something. Hoya Matilde. This is one that almost got purged in my rounds of purging as I prepped for Archie before I even told you guys I was pregnant. But somehow she has managed to find a place here still and still going strong. So I'm just gonna clean her up a little bit. She is getting big. I do think I can probably afford to do like a trim maybe and like take propagations, but at the same time, she is growing quite nicely, so maybe I just leave her. But I do want to kind of get these. I always like hear your guys' voices, even though I don't know what you sound like, when it's like, point the tendrils up, point them up, or they'll die. And I was like, that can't be a thing. Like, how is that a thing? Like, that can't be right. But no, it's true. The ones that face down, they just end up drying up. They don't ever grow leaves. But the ones that are facing upward, they at least stay like alive until they eventually grow some leaves. But it's so hard to like keep them looking nice. I feel like Hoyas, like taming Hoyas, is an art form, and I'm not quite sure I have it. Maybe if I loved them as much as I love my aeroids, I'd like spend more time, but it's just not there. I just like having them. I like looking at them. Whoa. So you can see my little guy is home. Did you have a good walk, bud? I'm just trying to get everything to go in a little loop-de-loop. I don't know if it's gonna stay though. Vinny, it was my dad's card.
Thanks, Dad.
She's actually very, very cute. I probably will keep her around for a while longer. I can't even remember how big this was when I first got it, but I know it wasn't this big. Do you want to eat? Are you hungry? Because I feel like we should take lunch at the same time so that the filming is...
Sure. Yeah, which is to say if you're hungry, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Okay, so me and Finn, by the way, I call Vince Finn. I think I told this story before, but we're gonna go have lunch. Maybe I'll feel a little bit better, and then we will continue on, and hopefully the sun is still out. I'm fed and I'm happy. Whew. And it's actually sunnier than when I stopped filming. I have my one coffee. I've been drinking matcha during this pregnancy. I know you're allowed like a cup of coffee, but I've just been, you know, erring on the side of caution, so I have my fake coffee. It's made from mushrooms. But it's pretty good. And of course, my daily Airheads. I'm obsessed with these right now. I can't not eat them. Okay, first shelf is done. Typically this takes me, honestly, anywhere from like, well, I guess it depends what I'm watching and how distracted I am, but it could take anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours when I do these like big checks. But again, I usually can sit through a movie or a couple episodes of a show, so it's not so bad. It's actually quite fun. Okay, moving on to the shelf above it, we have my RA5 Swamp, which has been an absolute nightmare to grow in ambient conditions during the winter. This is the newest leaf. She is struggling. All of my anthurium look like they've been munched. This one probably needs a repot soon because it's like coming out of the bottom. Sorry if you don't like eating. I am going to spray this one down in water. Yesterday I told you, well, I didn't tell you yesterday, but I told you on Friday that I wasn't gonna film on Saturday because I wanted to spend the whole day doing chores, things like laundry, and then working on my taxes. That did not go as planned. I woke up probably around, I wanna say it was like 10. Got up, I fed Pudge, I made some coffee. Vince ran out and got us some like brunch, I guess, like breakfast sandwiches. And then as soon as I finished eating, I was just beat. Like I could not keep my eyes open. I was so drowsy. So then I said, okay, I'm just gonna I told him, I was like, I'm gonna take a quick power nap. I'm just gonna nap for like an hour. And he's like, all right, see you in 4 hours. And I was like, I'm not gonna sleep for 4 hours. I slept for almost 4 hours. I got out of bed at like 4 or something. Then I started laundry, did a little bit of cleaning, watered some plants in the plant room, and then the day was over. And then we just like watched a movie and went to sleep. Pregnancy fatigue is insane. It's like, it almost resembles the feeling I get when I take Benadryl or NyQuil. If I take a full dose of NyQuil, I'll be out cold for like 2 days. You won't see or hear from me for 2 days because I'll just be sleeping. Or same thing, like if I take Dramamine knocks me out cold. I was gonna say, why was I gonna say that? I was gonna say me and my boyfriend, me and Vince, we went to Universal Studios one year, and I don't remember when this was, but went to Universal Studios because I wanted to go to Hogwarts, the Harry Potter world. Luckily, it was the last ride we went on, and if you guys have been to or on this ride at Universal in LA, it's the 3D one at the very, very end of Harry Potter world. And like you sit in this little cup like thing, and it's a 3D ride, but you're still moving. It like spins and it like twirls, but then it's all screen, and you're like, it's so awful. I had to close my eyes the entire time, and by the time we got off, me and Vince were just so sick and nauseous. We had to take an Uber home, and sitting in the back seat was like a nightmare. So I took Dramamine, and it was I think it was supposed to be the non-drowsy version. I slept through the rest of our trip. I don't even remember really checking out and going home because I slept for like 2 days, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I will never, ever, ever go on that again. Or just basically any 3D ride in general. I can barely do regular rides because of my vertigo. And so, yeah, I don't know why I thought that was gonna be a good idea. But anyway, it was a disaster. This one's not on that shelf, it's next to it. It's the Eversherii. And I'm gonna do this before I forget. Yesterday, Vince, he was like, your plant attacked me, and I did not appreciate it. This tendril he just like walked straight into it because it's like sticking straight out. So I just want to do some chopping and get it not so insane. I think I'm gonna chop this one pretty far back, and I'll just propagate this. Ugh, the freaking sap, dude. I always forget about sap. Okay, I think that's good. All the long tendrils are pretty much gone. Roots look okay. There's a lot of algae in this vessel, but not the end of the world. The next one is this mag crystal that I got from Amanda. I swear this thing is just like a dwarf. It's like a dwarf plant. It never wants to grow big leaves. I probably do need to repot this though. And actually, I think that's the first one I'm gonna put on my list of repotting, because let me show you what it's in. It's in pond, in a vessel with drainage. I can see some roots that don't look amazing, but I do see a lot of good roots, so probably just need to do a bit of cleanup. I can see some roots coming out of the bottom here, but in general, I think we gotta get this one sorted because she doesn't look very happy, and again, she has not sized up since I've gotten it. It's always been this small, but it's kind of cute. It's like a mini anthurium. But I'm gonna chop this leaf off because I don't want to look at it anymore. I've also had this plant for kind of a long time, or what feels like a long time, and it hasn't hit caterpillar yet. I mean, granted, it's freaking tiny, so not that I was expecting a caterpillar anytime soon, but I'm just like, what the heck is going on with it? I'm not gonna be using this spray on this leaf yet because it's not fully hardened just yet, so I'm gonna leave that. I've just noticed with my spider mite spray, emergent or non-hardened anthurium leaves just do not appreciate it at all. My poor pally that has or had some kind of, oh no, it's not. Oh yeah, it was this one. Both of my pallies have this weird fungal thing. They have like yellow spots all over them. It's not as prominent on this one, but you can kind of tell it's a bit spotty. The only thing I can think of that happened with this plant recently, with this plant recently is that I did take it to Alice's house when we filmed, and yeah, so there was like the transport, and I mean, it was raining, but I just don't see how that would have, I don't know. I don't really know what happened. But I did spray it with copper fungicide, and hopefully it kind of resolves. I'm thinking I want to peel these sheaths back, but they're gonna look like a bunch of stacked penis heads. I did that to Alice and she was not happy about it. So crunchy. Mine doesn't look as bad as hers. Hers really did look like a bunch of stacked penis heads. Whoa, that scared me. She's like, why did you do that? I was like, you let me. You told me I could do it. But I'll give you a closer look at what it looks like. You guys might not agree, but it kind of looks like a bunch of stacked penis heads. I don't know if it's really coming through on mine, but definitely on Alice's, and it looked pretty bad. Other than that, don't really want to spray this with anything just because it has copper fungicide on it, and I don't really want to disrupt what's going on with that. So I'm gonna leave this one as is. My Veitchii, which has not done anything in ages, but I can kind of see, Oh, she's pushing out growth. Oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening, people. Look. She's coming. Oh my gosh, it's been forever. This plant grows so slow. I did water this one not too long ago, so it's still wet. I'm not going to be watering it, but I do want to pest treat. I can kind of see, I don't know if I can see spider mites. You know what? Because of all the ribs, I'm gonna just wash this underwater and then I'm gonna spray it. If a new leaf wasn't just coming out, I'd probably chop this one off because it's quite ugly. Does this table seem lower to you, or are you guys just really, really high? I can't tell. All right, I've been wanting to do something about this manji for a little bit. I think I'm gonna chop it because this stem down here is getting quite long. That new leaf's so cute. And I do think I want to chop and repot. And I think this is one, should I? No, I'm not gonna add it on my list because I don't know how fast it's gonna take or how slow the propagations are gonna take. So I'm gonna chop pretty far up, I think. Maybe right here. And I'm wondering if I do double node cutting. So I'm gonna do that thing I do. Chop the bottom leaf off and then cut the top. And then once these get some roots on them, I'm just gonna water root it. Once they get some roots on them, then I'll put them back in the pot because this one is not really pushing out a lot of growth from the base, but at the same time, I haven't been chopping it a whole lot or at all really. But this one I think is gonna need to be repotted probably in the next, at least the next few months. I don't think there's any pests on this. I would hope. I don't typically like individually wipe off these leaves, but I'll just like give it a little spray and hope that it does the trick. But it's looking pretty. It's looking clean right now. Not too bad. So I'm just going to water this one. Actually, no, it has water. I forgot, there was one night where I just kind of saw the ones that were super dry and I just added some water because I didn't want to wait until I was filming this. And then my lovely little Mag Chris Lux from Amanda. Another munched leaf, but pretty good size jump. Growing in ambient. This was the last one. And I pollinated it. Was it in this video? No, I think I did it in my pollination video, which hasn't come out yet, but I pollinated this with Carla Bevep, and it was a really, really tiny, the inflow was like this small. There was barely any pollen, but I only did half of it, and it kind of looks like something's happening. I can't tell. It doesn't look really swollen, but it does look like it's puffing up a bit. And it was Alice's pollen, and she was like, I doubt it's gonna do anything, like, you know, don't have high hopes. And I'm keeping expectations low, but I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna just clean this out. I'm gonna go to the sink, flush it a little bit, and then clean out this vessel. Oh my gosh. My stomach feels like it's gonna pop. I don't know how you guys do this. I feel too heavy already and I still have 17 weeks left to go. So uncomfortable. Okay, so we've got a clean vessel here, as you can see. I love cleaning out the vessels. I'm just gonna remove some of this sheath and old petiole and stuff down here. This one could probably use a collar, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. And I'm gonna get a little bit of fertilizer water into here. I do try and fertilize a little heavier on my plants that have an inflow, but I'm just gonna go with what's in here right now. I was talking to Alice about this the other day, and what are you guys thinking about this Lux hybrid trend? I feel like so many Lux hybrids came out last year, and there's not many that look so different than the next. Like, I'll say the ones that stand out to me in terms of, like, I guess really unique characteristics are the Ralph Lauren Fort Sherman Lux, and then the one I recently got, which is the KOS Lux. But all of the other ones, they kind of look the same. Like, if you showed me a bunch of different Lux hybrids all in a row, I wouldn't be able to tell you what's what, or if they are different plants or what. Like, they almost look like they could just be from the same seed batch, but like, you know, how they can be variable in terms of their features. So yeah, me and Alice were like, is that bubble burst yet? Like, are people still spending money on Lux hybrids? I don't know, because we were saying we want to do more collabs in terms of hybrids, and she does have Lux pollen, and I was just like, I'm not really sure if I want to do another Lux hybrid. Well, I've never done a Lux hybrid, but I don't know if I would even want to do one, because I don't know, is it even exciting anymore? I feel like the Lux genes are so strong, no matter if it's the mother or the pollen parent, it's always just gonna look like a Lux. Next one up is dropping things on the floors like a death sentence. We have my Dorayaki red crystal here. This one has another, look at like these spots, you guys. I don't know what it is. I really don't. It's so spotty, and it's so weird because like there's so much airflow out here, you know? I think this one's still wet. Yeah, I don't need to water this one. Maybe I'll just put some down at the bottom. I should clean this vessel out. I don't want to walk. I don't want to walk to the sink. So we're gonna leave it. I don't know what these spots are, but it's getting frustrating. Woohoo 1 BVEP is kind of just clinging on for dear life. I think out here as well, it's not really thriving, it's just surviving. Doesn't look as bad as my swamp though. At least the leaves aren't munched. This new leaf, pretty okay for now, but it's not until it hardens off that you see how bad like the leaf actually is. Like this one looked pretty much, because this is the last leaf that came out on it, and it looked like the emergent leaf that's on it now, and then as soon as it hardened off, it just got all these like little spots and chlorotic areas and yellowing. I don't know. I don't know. This one is probably still what, 2? Yep. I'm gonna add some down at the bottom. Another super spotty plant. This is the RA5 Swamp Wet, I think. This is one that I watered recently too. Can't really see it on that leaf, but look at the newest leaf that just came out. Yucko. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Don't know what that's about. Honestly, I'm just like I'm not fixating on it too much. Like I'm doing what I can. I'm doing, you know, preventative sprays. Like if it's pests, I am using copper fungicide. I could probably start using Phyton again. But I just want to see what happens in the springtime when we do have warmer temperatures. I don't have my heater on anymore, more light. I'm kind of hoping that a lot of the issues I'm having right now resolve itself, but this was a really good test or observation period this winter with my anthuriums out here, because I'm kind of trying to dial in my environmental conditions over the winter. Next year I don't want to just be like, okay, well, whatever happens, happens, kind of like I did this year. I want to be a bit more prepared in terms of light, maybe even humidity. I don't really want to have to bring a humidifier out again. I've kept one around just in case it came to that, but I think the issue is more so light and the heat that comes from the heater. So we'll see. Learning a lot this year. Oh my gosh, this little propagation that's been giving me so much grief. My little, what is this? Dischidia pneumolaria or pneumolarifolia or something. It rotted randomly, so I just propagated it, but it's rooted now. It's weird because it keeps drying out at the end for whatever reason. My micans is definitely one I want to repot because it dries out so fast in this soil and it's getting really bare up at the top, so I want to kind of like wrap it around. But I do have some new growth coming up at the top, and she's turning out to be really cute. I need to add that to my list. I'm just gonna water it, and then I'm gonna actually, I think, take this to the shower, give it a nice spray down, and then I'll spray it with my spray in the shower. I can't wait to be able to do plant chores again without this child strapped to my belly. It's actually a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I really underestimate. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be fine. No biggie. My Baroquiana Esmeralda has not been living La Vida Loca out here at all. She is extremely unhappy. I actually think I might move this into my, not my tent, because I think cooler temps is better, but I don't think it likes the heat from the heater, obviously, and I do think it needs a little bit more light. Contemplating if I should just chop this leaf off and start from a stump again. What do I want to do? I guess I'll just leave it and move it into my plant room. And I really don't like seeing this plant out here right now because it's just so ugly. I still stand by what I say though, that this is way easier than the queen. Because if this was a queen, it would have been a stump a long time ago. Whoa. My poor novelty ace has really... Where are you? Do people not read listings on Marketplace? Honestly, like I literally have everything that you could ever need to know in the listing, and yet they're still like, how much is it? Like the price is on there. Where are you located? It's literally in the description and there's a map. I just really truly hate Marketplace people. I'm sorry. I don't openly say that I hate people, but Marketplace people, you guys, I don't like you. I don't like you. Okay, Novelty Ace has been struggling. struggling. I thought this leaf was gonna be bigger, and it's not. I do think though that this needed a repot a long time ago, because look at her. She's so root bound in here. I think I need to get this into like an 8-incher or something even bigger. I'm not gonna bother washing out the vessel because this is probably one that I will be repotting now that this new leaf is hardened off. Doesn't look great, but she's here. What is dripping? Oh god, the whole friggin' crap. There was a hole in that cup, or in that cover pot that my Esmeralda was in, and it was dripping all over the floor. I think I'm gonna chop this leaf off. It's not super yellow yet, but it's yellow enough to bother me. So, bye. By the way, I'm not just like throwing leaves onto the floor. I have a bin down here that I'm chucking them in. This is one of the worst plants in terms of those spots that I saw. So ugly. I'm honestly thinking about just chopping it off once this new leaf hardens off. It looks like it's gonna be pretty big, definitely bigger than this one. So I'm gonna let it do its thing while that's hardening, but as soon as she's out, I'm chopping this off. It's so, whoa. It's nasty looking. I do think I watered this one not too long ago, but she already needs more water. And because I did spray this one with copper fungicide, I'm not gonna be wiping down the leaves either. My Crystallinum Lux from Amanda. Not doing too bad, just not a lot of size growth, even though I did upsize the pot. But again, it could just be because, you know, she's living out here, it's winter time. I'm anxious for spring though. It's just crazy that after spring I'm gonna have a freaking child here. I've been having weird thoughts. I don't know if it's the hormones, but I'm like, how do you... I feel like, it feels weird saying this out loud. How do you like immediately bond with a child that like just came out of you? Like, if you think about it, yes, he is inside of me and I like helped create him, but he's kind of a stranger. Like, I don't know the guy. I don't don't know what he likes. He doesn't even know what he likes yet. He's like an alien. And I have this feeling, and I'm gonna try to not feel guilty about it, but I have a feeling I'm gonna be one of those moms that takes a little while to bond with the baby. Like, I feel like I just have to like get to know him first. I don't know. It's just these thoughts I've been having. I'm like, there's literally a stranger inside of my belly right now, and sometimes it freaks me out. But yeah, I am really looking forward to, you know, the next few months, like how much our lives are gonna change and stuff. A little bit anxious to see how it's gonna work with caring for as many plants as I do. Plants as I have, not as I do. How many plants I have, but I'm staying optimistic. And I just wanna make sure before Archie's here that everyone who like really needs to be repotted is repotted, because I don't know what the repot situation is gonna look like in the summer with a newborn. I mean, honestly, they just sleep. Like, the newborn phase in a lot of ways is like the easiest part. So it might be good. It's like when they start walking around and like you gotta really watch them that it gets difficult. I think I am done chopping this guy for a while. I've chopped it so much in 2023 to sell cuttings, give cuttings away, gifting cuttings, and I think I'm ready for it to just stay how it is and grow and get really nice and big again. So no chopping for a while. Probably added a little bit too much water, but I think it's okay. For the last remaining orchid that has survived in my collection, I don't do this nearly enough. I really should be doing this like multiple times a week, which is why it's been very unhappy, but right now I'm doing it about every 2 weeks. The fertilizer I'm using right now is the TPS Orchid Plant Food. I feel like it's been fine. I don't really know like how it could do better or worse. I really feel like the reason my orchid hasn't flowered or anything is because I haven't been taking care of it. I forgot my pipette. I do about 5 milliliters of this, sometimes a little bit more. I can see one here that has died, which was my fault. Sorry, it's so light and the roots are so dry, but I basically just sit it like this, upside down, make sure to get everything in there. There is new growth though, which is a miracle. And I'm really not trying to have this flower. I don't buy orchids typically for the flowers. There are only a few orchids I've been intrigued by where I would have gotten it for the flowers, but I really get it for the foliage. And then I will honestly I'll leave this for a couple hours. God, this plant is an overachiever. Okay, one very exciting thing happening. Oh, it's got a new leaf, I didn't even notice. So, my Anthurium Brielle has actually been doing really well out here in the winter in terms of pushing out new growth, keeping its leaves, having leaves that look fully formed. Like this one came out in ambient. It even gave me its second inflow ever. I pollinated it with Alice's Black Crystallinum and it does look like it took because it's turning green and a little bit plump, which is very exciting, but I just have to be so careful, so careful. I think I need to water it. I feel like I watered this one not too long ago. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I can already tell this is damp. She is wet. That's what he said. I am gonna peel back some of the sheath. Not only do I just like enjoy having a plant that looks really cleaned up, but I find if you're leaving the sheaths, it's just like more places for creepy crawlers to hide, spider mites to hide, mealybugs to hide. After this inflow, oh my gosh, it's pushing another inflow. Oh, I should have selfed it. That would have been cool, damn it. Dang it. Well, I guess I'll collect pollen. I can see another inflow is coming out. Another inflow, a fertilized inflow, and a new leaf. Oh my gosh, this plant, she can't be stopped. I am gonna add some fertilizer down here though, because since so much is going on, I wanna make sure that it has essentially enough nutrients to sustain itself. I don't wanna lose some of these beautiful leaves on it. But I think she's okay. I did wipe this plant down not too long ago, so I think she might be all right. I can see some pollen on the leaves. Maybe I will just give it a quick wipe down. Running out of space here. I would love to cross this with a red crystal, like use maybe the red crystal as the mother and then have this as the pollen parent. I mean, I think either way it would be really nice. I just want to at least once see this plant with some like red venation or pink venation. And I can't tell if it would be better as the mom or the dad. But hopefully one of my friends in the future has like a red crystal that they're willing to collab with me on. Lauren just acquired the most beautiful crystallinum ever. Oh, I would die for that plant. I'm just gonna wet that a little bit so it can come out of the sheath. And let's put her down. I have to be very careful. And then this Indo-Pappy hybrid is also an overachiever. So I just harvested the berries on this one and she already has another inflow coming. I'm not quite sure I want to do anything with this plant though. I don't know why, like, I mean, I'm looking at it and I don't know of anything I'd really want to cross it with that would be like spectacular. I feel like it would be cool to do something really dark and velvety, but the chances of any of my friends wanting to cross it with this and not something else that's maybe a little bit more valuable or has nicer features, like it's pretty low. So I don't know. I might either snip this inflow off or just collect pollen. I do have more crystal black pollen, but I just, wait, did I use? No, I used Forgetti Eye. I could do crystal black pollen on this, but I don't know if that would even be, I don't know if that would be nice. I really don't. I guess I don't want to like invest the time and energy in taking care of these berries if it's not really gonna pay off, I guess. In not even like monetarily, but like even for me, just having a cross that looks nice enough that I'd want to keep it around, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I say this is an overachiever. I didn't even tell you guys. So it's pushing an inflow and it's also pushing 2 leaves at the same time. So there's actually 2 separate growth points on this. This plant right here, this leaf is an offset. I could separate it, but I don't know. Looks kind of nice, bushy. I mean, I might. Maybe the next time I repot it, I'll separate out this growth point and sell it, or I don't know, do something. Maybe a friend might want it. But I could use the money right now, that's for sure. The new leaf looks like it's gonna be pretty big, which is quite exciting. I don't think I did this leaf yet. This one is also wet. I thought it was pushing another growth point. I was like, okay, you need to calm down. This Ripsalis is just tooting along. she's quite happy. Roots look great in here. So much new growth in the last few weeks. I did just water this not too long ago, so nothing really needs to be done with her. Clarinervium, we never know how she's doing. We just hope and pray for the best. I do keep this one on the drier side, meaning I don't water it as often as my other plants, so I'm not going to be watering this today. But I am going to just check these leaves to make sure I don't see any spider mites. This one actually pushed out an inflow not too long ago, which I chopped off because I am just too impatient with claries. Like, the gestation period is so freaking long. I feel like it doesn't produce a large yield in general, and it's just kind of more a pain in the butt. So I don't really ever plan on doing any hybrid with a Clarinervium, although I think these leaves are just gorgeous. The stem is getting really long. It's still good in this pot. It's not root bound or anything. I think it can live in here a lot longer, but I think eventually I'll build it a collar. So maybe I'll write that. Oh my god, my phone's so far. I think I'll write that in my notes that Clarinervium is gonna need a collar soon. I decided to switch the spots of my AOS mag. Well, allegedly this is an AOS mag. And my Brielle, because my Brielle inflow keeps getting knocked and I'm scared one of these days I'm just going to like knock the whole thing off. So roots look good in this one. This is the newest leaf that came out on this shelf. Not too bad. I mean, you guys have seen way worse, like my mag crystal. But this one's actually a really, really nice hybrid. Every time Lauren, because me and Lauren both have a piece of this plant. She like has way more leaves than I do, and hers grows way faster than mine. And every time there's a new leaf, I'm like, oh my gosh, which plant is this? She's like, Charmaine, I keep telling you, it's the one you have. And I'm like, oh good, because I really like it. I can't remember if I said it in this video or another video, but I've been having this thought or desire, and I'm probably gonna regret it. And I don't even know where it, no, I do know where it came from. It's because I saw a freaking picture on Instagram. I saw a picture of this nice lush string of pearls, and I just have not stopped thinking about it since. I'm just like, it's so freaking cute when it's really healthy, but I've just heard horror stories about the string of pearls, and I don't know if I want to bring a plant into the house, like a succulent into the house that has little balls like that, especially with, you know, Archie coming, but I was thinking maybe I can give it a try. I don't know, I've just been wanting more trailing plants. I think I'm itching because like I can't find any new Ripsalis to take home. And then I saw that string of pearls and I was like, maybe we get that. So I thought maybe this week, if I decided to go for it, we can go shopping together and go find one. Although I've been just kind of nervous to do errands by myself because of this whole fainting thing. So I'll have to see. Getting there slowly but surely, although I still have to do all of the plants on the top, but I might breeze through that because I think I've been filming for way too long and I don't want to have Vince hide out in the bedroom all Sunday. Okay, so we have my red crystal port, one of my favorite Anthurium in my collection right now. You can see she's been a victim to winter out here. but you know, could be worse. I was just happy to see growth at all. This one looks like it could be wet, but it feels really light. But kind of feels like it's wet. Yeah. I'm gonna water it anyway. Contemplating chopping this leaf off. I don't like looking at it. Maybe I'll just cut off this crispy tip because she's not giving. My Ripsalis Holarii that I got in a trade. I'm so happy about this one. It's pushing out new growth. It's so cute. Just need to water this. This one could probably be aerated a bit. I'm gonna go grab a toothpick. Usually my sign that I need to aerate a plant is on a soil plant is if I start seeing like mold up at the top. I'll just like poke some holes, spray it with hydrogen peroxide or sometimes even isopropyl alcohol, but you want to be careful doing that. Another sign is, I should have put it closer to the screen, but when you water and the water kind of just sits up at the top for a really long time and then it like bubbles down, like it has a hard time going downward, I'll just take a little stick and I'll poke some holes so that it just has a little bit more airflow, I guess. I'm just gonna wash that in there. Tofu Getty Eye is looking rough. I showed you guys this, the Vagilux. So if you guys don't know what a Vagilux, this is one of Lauren's, I would say most popular hybrids. Her Crystal Mag, Crystal Mag for Getty Eye Lux is so stinking cute. I did water this one not too long ago, but I'm gonna add some water down at the bottom so that it can just wick itself up. And I don't think, yeah, I'll just give this a wipe down. Might as well. I'm gonna leave the new leaf alone though. Tofu Getty Eye has seen better days. It almost looks like it could have like something like flat mites or something. Like, look at this new leaf. It's so spotty. Don't know if you'll be able to see it. And then just like everything else is looking really bad. I don't know if it's just like not liking pon. I can see a lot of like nice roots on the sides, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's happy in the substrate it's in. Might have to try something different. I'm just gonna remove these lower leaves even though a new leaf is coming out. Could also be transition, because this one was growing in a greenhouse and I recently just had it living in the living room. But it doesn't quite look like transition shock to me. So it looks a little pesty. But I don't see any spider mites on it. That's why I was like, could it be flat mites? Because like, I don't know. I know some of my Hoyas have flat mites. I'm just ignoring it. Ignorance is bliss. After Hoya Apocalypse, I'm like, you know what? I'm done doing anything drastic on my Hoyas. I am not reliving that again. I've got this funky little guy here who I've never really known the idea of. But it's been living in this tiny thing since I've gotten it. So like years, literally like literal years. Maybe I'll repot it. I think it's time for this guy to get a little bit of love. The poor thing, it dries out constantly, yet it's still so good to me. It's like never wavered. So I think I'll still stick with pon because it's been growing in pon for so many years that I don't really see the point in, did too much water, in transitioning. Oh, that's yucky. Okay. Okay. Just pour some in here. Okay. It's like it never happened. Yeah, I don't see the point in trying to move it to soil. And then my Windlinger, I was wiping down the leaves the last time I did this, and I just accidentally like ripped off the older leaf. So she's gone now, but luckily I didn't break this new one. I'm not gonna wipe it down again because I'm too paranoid I'm gonna destroy it again. So we're just gonna water. I do see one root here that doesn't look great in the front. Let's see if I can show you. I'm scared. Where is it? Oh my word. That black root right there. Doesn't look great, but I see some new roots though, more new roots than bad roots, but I don't like the way that looks. This might be one that I get in there and see what's going on too. And then the last plant on that shelf is my King of Spades. Hasn't been doing too bad. I mean, notoriously slow grower, but she pushed this leaf out on the shelf, which was extremely impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I was impressed by her. I'm gonna aerate this. It looks a bit dense up at the top. My Vitarfolium hasn't had growth on it in ages, so I'm not going to be adding fertilizer to this one today. My El Guapo is finally pushing out another leaf after being dormant for what feels like forever. I did have this one growing in my plant room, but the leaves were getting really bleached and chlorotic under my lights. So I was like, you know what? You're gonna live out in the living room and we'll see how you do. And hoping this new leaf is a little bit nicer looking than the last one. Trouble in Forgetti Dice. Just not looking good. And look at this new leaf. It's just like munched and spotty. Again, kind of looks like the, what other leaf did I have that was really bad? Oh, my Dorayaki, Red Crystal, and my Tofugetti. Like just really spotty and spider mite looking, but like I don't see any spider mites. Like I'm just stumped. I wish I could say it was spider mites, because then at least like I know why it looks like that, but it just looks yucky. Anyway, I'm spraying this emergent leaf because it already looks so gross, and if there are any bugs on it, I'd rather I wipe it off than try and preserve what's left of that nasty looking leaf. This leaf looks terrible as well, but I feel like I should leave it because it has a new leaf coming out plus an inflow. I don't know what to do. I don't even know if I want to keep this inflow. What can I do with Forgetti? Well, we're just gonna tuck this one away in the back of the shelf so that I can't see it. and we will just pretend like it's not happening. Oh, I have one here. I already have one here. On on a brighter note, my Diabloense is looking really good. I think all of these leaves, no, maybe, was it this one? Definitely this one was grown out on the shelf, and then this cutie guy right here. Oh my gosh, I love this Anthurium so much. And I'm so glad that it's doing well in ambient conditions. Come here. This one is also quite wet. But I am gonna just wipe these leaves down. I'm gonna chop this old leaf off because it's not really giving. Oh my gosh, this new leaf is so cute. It's like sinister looking, but still really cute. Like, how can you be both at the same time, you little cutie? You little cutie, you. My Woohoo's first night is not living La Vida Loca out here. It does not like life on the shelf. It's yellowing like crazy, and I just can't get any new growth to come out, but it does like the tree fern soil mix, that's for sure. So I mean, roots are happy, just the leaves aren't. I think I watered this one too. Yeah, I can feel it's wet. Ugh, yuck. I'm gonna chop this leaf off. And just give this a wipe. I'm hoping that this one flowers for me soon. That would be pretty cool. I do need to chop this one though at some point and give a piece to Alice, because pretty much any plant that is gifted to me from Amanda, I try and give her a piece if I can. And then another Amanda plant is this Chia Pence Variprescence, not living its best life out here either. This thing has been so tiny for so long. It should be so much bigger by now for how long I've had it. A new leaf did try coming out, and then it just aborted. The roots look pretty good though in pon, but I think it might need something bigger. I think it's just too small. Last plant on that shelf is one of my favorites right now in terms of new leaves. Look at this absolutely perfect crystal black leaf. Seriously, it's just so cute. It's so perfect. It's like there's not a single flaw. Yeah. She's perfect in every way. This one definitely needs to be repotted because it's in a tiny little thing, which is why the leaves are so small. So I'm gonna add that to my list as well. I am not going to wipe the new leaf down yet because although it's like mostly hardened, it's not like 100% there yet. We just have the plants on the top shelf now, and then I'm gonna be done. I'm ready to just have some ice cream or something and sit on the couch. Oh my gosh. Okay, where should I start? Rio, looking like a cutie. Nothing really needs to happen to this one. I just need to water. I could also take this into the bathroom and just give it a spray, which I might since I have to go in there anyway and spray down my micans that's drying off. So I'm gonna go do that right now. Hopefully I don't run out. I don't have to mix another batch. Well, I ended up having to mix more because Ow, because I ran out. So a rainy leaf, shedding. This one actually doesn't drop very many leaves that often. Also, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but over the last few weeks, I have been smelling on occasion like an old woman's perfume on the top floor. I'll just get a whiff of it randomly and I'm like, where is that coming from? And like, I don't have any Hoyas that are blooming. I don't know where it's coming from. And I'm like, is it a ghost? Is it a freaking ghost? I don't know, but it's creepy because it's like very, very like old woman's perfume smell, like a very strong scent. Anyway, it's just been creeping me out because I just smelled it again going up there to spray down my plants, and I smelled it in the hallway. Like, is it coming through the vents or what? But I feel like someone's perfume wouldn't be that strong in the vents. I have to water this pole too. And I know like my nose is stronger right now, but still like it's a weird smell to just randomly, whoa. It's a weird smell to just randomly smell. Wouldn't you agree? I hate having to water poles out here because it's so messy. Two of my babies, my hybrid babies. I can't get over how different they look. Oh my gosh. Oh yay, this inflow is finally coming out. I feel like it's been stuck like that for so long. What is my hand doing? I'm like this. I recently repotted this and the roots look so happy. Oh my gosh. That is such a great sign. I just wish it was a new leaf and not just an inflow that popped right out. I'm still contemplating what I want to hybridize with this. Like, I don't know what features I'm looking for in a hybrid, but just look how cute this is. I wish I could self it. That would be my ideal, selfing this guy. I feel like if I did my Indo-Pappy hybrid, it really wouldn't do much. Crystal black, I could do crystal black, but I like the venation on this one, so I don't really want to bring a silver veined plant into the mix. I don't know. I guess I could try it with Lux if we have Lux pollen that's available. I guess like they look like cousins, but they don't really look like siblings to me. Maybe the venation, like in terms of how it kind of just like stops before it gets to the edge of the leaf margin. But I don't know, to me they look pretty different. The inflow actually looks like it's a decent size, and this is the first time it's flowering. So I'm surprised. I thought the inflow would be pretty tiny. This leaf is going out, but I'm just gonna leave it since I can't see it on the top shelf. I could also do Forgetti Eye again. My Forgetti Eye that's pushing an inflow. And maybe if I do Forgetti Eye again, it'll close up that sinus. That might be interesting. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully we can get them to line up. And I think I'm gonna use this as the mom and then use the Forgetti Eye pollen as dad. Oh my gosh. These bigger plants are getting harder to care for. All right, Tordum, doing fantastic as always. New leaf unfurled just fine. Not seeing any spider mites, which is good because it did have spider mites at one point, but it didn't really throw a tantrum. Like you can see the leaves are still nice and green. I'm just gonna water it because she doesn't really require anything else. I do think though that over the spring I'm going to upsize the pot. I'm gonna upsize the pot. I don't know which one she's gonna go in, but I think she's getting pretty rooty in here. And I wanna try and get it to climb the pole, but I guess I wouldn't mind if it doesn't, because then the leaves will stay in this form and not go into more mature form, which I don't really like. But yeah, no complaints. Esqueleto, on the other hand, has some wonky things happening. So the new leaf did not form very well, unfortunately. Had a little bit of trouble coming out of the sheath. The leaf has sized down pretty significantly. You can see some yellowing on this plant that I'm not quite sure what it's from. Roots look healthy, but it might just need a repot, honestly. I wouldn't mind repotting it. I mean, it is getting quite big. I'm gonna chop this leaf off down here though. It's almost sunset. I feel like Sundays kind of just come and go really fast. The good thing though is today I woke up thinking it was Monday, so then when I realized it was Sunday, I felt like, wow, I just gained a day on the week. I mean, not really. That's just girl math. I just realized I have to go grocery shopping after this. That sucks. Oh, that sucks so bad. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Don't make me go. But it's gonna be tough to find another time to do it this week because me and Vince's schedule is pretty swamped. I kind of want to chop off this new leaf, but I guess I'll just leave it. I think it just needs more light up there. This Billietier needs to be repotted so bad. It is way too big for this little thing, and this aerial root is just flying out of here. So I'm gonna add that to my list too for sure. And might get it on a pole, I'm not sure. I've never really liked Billies on a pole. And I wouldn't mind keeping leaves this size. I'm not super anxious to see any leaves larger than this. Like, it's pretty big already for even not climbing. Okay, like, that's a pretty good leaf. Like, this is what I like my Billy to look like. I don't need it to do anything more than it's doing. She's doing great. And I did wipe this down like a week ago. I just randomly saw it. It looked kind of dusty, so I gave her a quick wipe down, so I don't need to do anything with that. This is another plant that just severely needs to be repotted as well. This Dean has been outside of this pot for ages, and it's super rooty in the vessel. But I just don't want to disturb her. She looks so good in the pot, and I really don't want to touch it. I'm like, you're fine, right? You don't need a bigger pot. You'll be okay. This one is a spider mite magnet though, so I constantly have to check this one, because if this has spider mites, pretty much everything on that shelf will eventually get spider mites because of its reach. I do have predatory mites on it, although I don't think they hatched out here because I haven't really seen any mites on any of my plants out here. Because of the sheer size, this is one that's gonna go into the bathroom. I'm gonna give it a wash down, spray it in there, and then I'll get it back on the shelf because I'm not gonna individually wipe these down today. And then my Dorayaki, this one tried to push out a new leaf. I thought it was doing okay, and then it just shriveled up and died. I don't know why. No, I do know why. I think it's just light. It's the light sitch up there. But this is the last leaf on it. It's pretty good size. Grown out here. Last plant on the shelf is the variegated Heteroecium. Oh gosh. I chopped this one a couple weeks ago. Sold some of the cuttings, but she's all right. I could wipe these leaves down individually, but I'm tired. I'm pooped. Gonna have a celebratory airhead for finishing that task. Definitely feels more like a chore when I'm filming, but you know, it's fine. I do have a few more plants to water: my Dracaena, my fern, my other Billy, my Yucca, my Monstera, my Hoya behind me, but I'm just gonna do that quickly off camera, and I'm gonna wrap it here for week of. I think we're just gonna do one more day. I think I'm gonna skip week of tomorrow because, I need to film another YouTube video. It's gonna be kind of long and I don't think I can do 2 in one day. So if anything, I will see you on Tuesday. Hello, I am coming to you from the future to tell you that I have had to break this week of into 2 parts because there was so much footage. I didn't want to cut out too much. So this is going to be a part 1, part 2. Part 2 will come out on Wednesday, so just in a few days. And yeah, sorry if you were looking forward to the end, even though you don't know what's going to happen. But part 2 is going to be a little bit too long to tack onto this one. My computer will literally explode. So thank you guys for watching part 1 of week of. I hope you got lots done while you watched this. Thank you for being here as always, and if you liked it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on Wednesday.